Bcbp Calamba was established by the Alabang chapter through a breakfast meeting held at the Max Restaurant in Crossing Calamba in July 1996. After holding several breakfast meetings, the Alabang chapter decided to hold the first Brotherhood Christian Life Program or BCLP in Calamba from January 18 to March 15, 1997 at Don Bosco, Calamba. After the first BCLP, Brother Jess and Sister Esti Capis of Alabang chapter guided the young outreach in integrating itself fully into the brotherhood culture. It was a period of building relationships and strengthening the bond between and among members to establish a strong community. This was an essential phase in the community's growth. During this time, Calamba started holding regular BCBP activities such as assemblies, action group meetings, BCLPs, teachings, and others. A year later, Brother Angel Sabas took over as the outreach head. During this period, the Alabang mission team also opened the Binyan San Pedro breakfast. Later on, it was entrusted to Calamba Outreach in preparation for its chapterhood. On November 4, 2000, at the height of Tropical Storm Senyan, Calamba Outreach was installed at chapter. Father Chito de Maran, SDB, celebrated the Eucharistic Mass with members of the different chapters and outreaches all over Southern Tagalog and Metro Manila in attendance. The chapter installation rites and recommitment were led by Brother Louis Morales and Brother Bobby Atendido. From being an outreach head, Brother Angel assumed as chapter head. Under his leadership, Calamba chapter saw further strengthening of the community culture, development of community leaders, and growth for the chapter in number and spirit. The following year, members of the chapter threaded the long path to Daet to open a brotherhood breakfast. Twice a month, the Calamba mission team, led by Brother Marcel Antican as the chapter mission director and Brother Rolly Pagaspas, traveled for 8 to 10 hours to visit Daet and hold regular BCBP activities and formation programs. After 3 years, Brother Marce succeeded Brother Angel as the chapter head.
The accomplishment in a year of community life would not happen without the solid foundations laid out in the previous years. I saw the development of Binyan San Pedro that eventually separated from Calamba as a chapter early in my stint as chapter head. Before that split, our Calamba showed their boldness to do mission work in Baguio and accept the transfer of San Pablo outreach from Manila chapter as we did the mission work in San Pablo and Daet. The mission team had to leave Friday, so they had time to invite people and prepare for the Saturday breakfast. They left Daet Saturday afternoons or extended their stay until Sunday if there were BCLPs and formation programs on the schedule. At home, there was a renewed focus on recruitment and the empowerment of sets of leaders while taking care of our Daet and San Pablo mission. Doing so allowed Calamba to do market evangelization programs. Special mention was our active participation in the series of Life in the Spirit seminar programs for PNP personnel. I was coming in as chapter head after also witnessing the contribution of Calamba and her Binyan mission in reviving the Lipa and Imus chapters and thus provide the template for the expansion of the BCBP in the Southern Tagalog region. And thank you. God bless Bcbp.
This stage of the chapter saw the empowering of more leaders in the community. Before, members of the governance team handled multiple ministries, but with the development of more leaders, responsibilities were hence shared by more members. After nurturing Binyan San Pedro for 4 years, it was installed as a chapter in 2004. With Brother Mel Rebutica as its chapter head. In 2007, Brother Joff Almoro was installed as the new chapter head.
During my term, we had several runs of the Life in the Spirit seminar for several batches of PNP trainees for Philippine National Police. Also, we had to turn over our Daet outreach to the newly formed Bicol region and this was in submission to the authority of the AMD and the President back then. Likewise, we opened the Los Baños outreach, first breakfast and then an outreach. We also opened the Candelaria breakfast, and then later turned it over to our San Pablo outreach, which later on became a chapter. Thank you, and a pleasant day to all of you.
By mid-2007, the stewardship of DAET was transferred to Naga chapter. Los Baños officially became an outreach in 2009, with several Calamba members serving as its core composition. In 2010, Brother Bani assumed the leadership of the chapter. Early on that year, San Pablo became a chapter with Candelaria as its outreach. With only Los Baños as its outreach, the chapter focused on Calamba as its main evangelization niche.
After experiencing handling so many outreaches nung time off, during my time, we tried to focus on Calamba and nearby areas lamang. My first year, we went around the industrial park trying to establish the community there. We conducted some market evangelization programs, and on my second year, we focused on LISP 1, and we started with the Kapihan. It's an after-office activity trying to invite people from the industrial park. And then we eventually settled sa lunch out o luncheon meeting. It's a 12 to 1 activity, something similar to the breakfast that we have. On my last year, we established Bcbp Canlubang in preparation for a new phase and a new growth of the Bcbp Calamba chapter. During my time, there were so many new and young members coming in, and these young members eventually became leaders of the community, and some even became chapter heads, not only sa Calamba but also in other chapters in the region.
In 2013, Brother Bobet Yambao took over the chapter leadership.
It is with much thanksgiving for me and my family to be able to serve Calamba community as its fifth chapter head. Those years were highlighted by intensified drive to increase the chapter membership through the conduct of twice-a-year Christian Life programs. This eventually led to the chapter split when membership grew to more than 200 plus members that gave birth to the Calamba West chapter, now known as the Canlubang chapter. My wishes for more chapter anniversaries to come, Calamba continues to be at the forefront of evangelization in the region. Cheers to everyone. God bless us all.
It was in 2014 that the then Calamba West chapter was installed and headed by Brother Edgar Ramilo as its first chapter head. In 2015, Bcbp Calamba became the lead chapter in opening the Bangkok mission through the efforts of Brother Altic Yap. In 2016, the chapter leadership was given to Brother Don Alarcon.
It was in March 2016 that Los Baños Outreach was elevated to a chapter. Not long after, the stewardship of Santa Cruz Outreach was passed on to Calamba from Las Piñas chapter. We then extended full support to Santa Cruz Outreach in intensifying its formation program, leadership development, and recruitment efforts. Calamba, as a trailblazer in evangelization initiatives, we wanted to expand some more Bcbp's marketplace presence in other areas of our city. Initially, we explored Calamba City Hall as the venue of our MEP, wherein talks on values enrichment were given to the government employees at noon break. But it was when we had breakfast at Chick Boy fast food restaurant and then sustained this at Bonchon Makiling that well prepared us to conduct CLPs there, all of which were fruitful. It is also noteworthy that the Women's Council was launched during this time, expanding the role of women as our strong support in pastoral care and evangelization. One major factor, for example, that contributed to the growth of the Makiling mission was the active involvement of the ladies in inviting business people.
Today, Through the current leadership of Brother Choi Hinagpis, the chapter continues to be a beacon of light as it faces the challenge of bringing Christ to the marketplace and winning the marketplace for Christ in Calamba.